Welcome back to House. So last episode we discussed the current problem with youth and the cost to the taxpayer in the billions per annum.
That's right, Ali. It is the taxpayer. It's you who are paying. It's not the government.
No, so everyone says, oh, it's the government's problem. Who do you think funds the government?
Exactly right. Us people that work very hard for what we do, we pay our taxes.
Correct.
And then we flush it down the toilet.
And as you notice, taxes only go up one way.
Well, that's right. The taxes aren't coming down.
Correct.
Especially where we live.
Correct. So Ben, what are we discussing now?
Right, well, in our previous episode, as you pointed out, we were discussing the problems with youth here, what we have, and it's really a worldwide problem. But these problems don't just begin when they're 16 or 12 and 13.
So where are you going with this?
Well, the problems stem from a far younger age. And where I'm going to is, what I'm saying is, I walk my dog every morning, okay? So at 7:30 a.m,
Yes.
I'm out, okay? And I'm walking. I walk past a childcare centre.
Yes.
And it is full of cars with people dropping their children off.
How young?
2, 3 years old.
Okay. Yep.
And then there is a kindergarten beside it, but that's kinder. That's a normal progression in life.
Sure.
For our children. Dropping a 2-year-old child off
Well, I know people,
for someone to mind your child,
and I know people,
I have a problem with that.
and I know people drop off kids as young as 1 month old, literally 4 weeks old. It's more and more common, and the reason I can hear it, I hear it the whole time. I've asked this question: why? Why do you do it? I have to sustain my income. I have to work. I'm a mother or a father. I have to work.
Okay.
And should I take off 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it may be, to spend with my child in the most vulnerable, if you like, time of their lives, right? I could jeopardize my career progression. I'm not going to do it.
You know, you can't have your pie and eat it too.
So what do you suggest?
Okay. I think it needs to be a clear delineation between, can you afford to have a child or can you not?
Now we're talking.
But it gets better than that, because I had one of my siblings say to me, and it's true, oh, it's so good for her. She's learning to play with other children.
I interact and social.
What a load of crap.
Okay.
Honestly, Ellie. It's fine to have children. The number one question that I would ask is, well, can you afford to have that child?
So afford it in terms of financial or
It's
mental,
financial. No,
emotional?
it's all about financial here.
Yes.
What I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because money drives everything. Whether
Agreed.
people like to believe it or not, if you don't think so, you're kidding yourself. It does. And I've had negative money, okay,
Yes.
to money.
It's a good money.
So I think
Yeah.
I'm in a good place where to
talk.
to have an opinion. So it is a case of, so if you cannot afford a child, if you cannot afford to be home with that child,
Should question.
it's highly questionable. Should you be having a child? People say it's our right. No, it's not.
But I'll take this.
It's a privilege to have a child.
100%. It's a blessing. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. But hey, there's countries out there,
Yep.
Japan for one,
Yes.
they're actually actively paying people to produce children because of declining population. So they got to.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. But look at it from this perspective. What's the use of paying someone to have a child that doesn't want to have a child?
Separate.
There are over
Well, they may want to have children, but may not be able or can cope, be capable of being a parent.
Well, what's the point? Because if you cannot cope with being a parent, what sort of effect is that going to have on the child?
You'd assume only
I
negative.
don't think a positive
No.
outcome.
No.
And considering there's over 140 million children in the world for adoption.
That's a big number.
Yeah, 140 million. So that is pretty much, so we live here in Australia. What's
Yes.
our population here in Australia?
26.
Yep, 26 million.
Yeah.
So that is, give it close to 6 times Australia
Wow. Wow.
of children.
That's a big number, and I'm shocked. I'm sure most people would be absolutely shocked with that number.
This is another $1 trillion industry.
Yes.
Like, where do we stop?
So this conversation can go a lot of different ways, but you think of the one, the Chinese one-child policy, and that worked because they had, population out of control and they kind of controlled it, but now they're actually encouraging, again, people to have more than one child.
Why? Because their debt's out of control, Ali.
Correct. So the larger the population, especially younger people that are going to be able to work and then
Yes.
income producing, contribute to society. That's a good thing. That's a great thing for the economy.
Yeah, it is, but when you have as much debt, well, look at the world debt level at the moment. Never been seen like it. Oh, you know what? It's fine. Let's all have more children and it'll balance it out. Then we'll be able to claim more taxes. Are you for real?
Well, they say with the aging population, you've got to have children in order
another one.
To fund aging population because people are, it's a different topic as you say, people are going to live longer.
We will discuss this.
Okay.
Because that's a topic in itself.
I'm sure you've got an opinion.
I certainly do.
Okay, so in summary, how would you summarise this?
In summary, I believe if people want to have children, all well and good, can you afford it?
So it all comes down to finance.
Yeah, it does. Can you afford to look after that child, or do you need to drop them off at somewhere or at your parents for them to look after it? They've already done their job. But hey, let's just dump them on them anyway because I want to make more money because then I can afford this more expensive car and
so effectively
and TV, etc. and lifestyle.
It's a vicious cycle, what you're saying.
It certainly is. Or do you wait and you think, okay, let's plan it properly? Big difference.
Yes.
Let's plan it so we have our finances in order. Fantastic. Let's work it out. We're in a position where we can actually spend time with our child and give them a nurturing, growing relationship of which they deserve. Not throwing them into a bloody childcare centre where the people really don't care anyway.
Of course I would.
They're paid the minimum wage. What do you expect?
This has been a very interesting, I would say, deep conversation.
And it's going to get even better.
Hold on to your hats. Watch the next one.
Take care.
Thanks.